So what we did to overcome the difficulty of converting a galvanometer into a meter, we attached a small resistance Rs, which is called shunt resistance, in parallel to the galvanometer, and we have seen the total resistance is now equal to this small resistance or the shunt resistance. Since this resistance is very small, in relation to the rest of the circuit. So let us say this total resistance of the circuit is Rc. The effect of introducing measuring instrument is also very small because this Rs is very small. Now this arrangement is shown in figure 4.25. So here we can see here the scale of this ammeter is calibrated. We will understand this figure. First let us understand this figure. So this was the resistance of this galvanometer. This is the resistance of this galvanometer. Now what is the problem? Suppose if this we have this resistance R that we have to measure. So what would be the total resistance in that case? R plus Rg. Again, if this Rg is large, then resistance is changed and current is simply from the Ohm's law is V upon R. So voltage is definitely fixed, but now the resistance instead of R, resistance has become Rg, so current will change. So current is not accurate if the resistance of galvanometer is large. So what we did, we take this galvanometer and Rg is its resistance. So we have connected a shunt resistance in parallel. So here you can see we have introduced a shunt resistance in parallel. So this is the new arrangement. This is the Rg, this is the Rs, this is small rs, and this is Rg, and we have seen that parallel resistance is equal to this Rs. Again this Rs is very small, so this R total is equal to R plus small rs. Since this small rs is very small, we can neglect it. So the resistance will remain almost same and we can accurately measure the current. So that's why we have introduced this small resistance Rs. The scale of, now we have understood how to measure current, but what is the scaling? How can we measure the scale? So first we have to compare it with some standard current. The scale of this ammeter is calibrated. So what is calibration? Calibration is when we compare something with some standard. So one good example is that suppose in your home you want to measure the weights of 1 kilogram. You want to measure weight of 1 kilogram and you want a standardized weight of 1 kilogram. So let us take, you took a very big stone. You don't know what is the weight of this big stone, but you know this is somewhere between 1 kg and 2 kg, but you don't know. So what will you do? You will compare it with the standard weight. This is the standard weight of 1 kg. So let us say this is heavier than 1 kg. Then you break some part of it. Again measure. So again it is still more than 1 kg. Again you remove some more part. Still it is more than 1 kg. Then you again remove one more part. So after removing that part, this is equal to 1 kg. So this is now your standard weight of 1 kg. So this process of comparing with something standard, is called calibration. So in same way we have calibrated this weight, so we can compare with some standard ammeter to calibrate this thing. The scale of this ammeter is calibrated and then graduated. So calibration, you understand that comparing with some standard. So what we do, we flow some current in a wire and current is flowing the same. First we put a standard ammeter here then measure. Let us say current is 1 ampere. When we put galvanometer here, then current is again same, current is 1 ampere. So this time now we have galvanometer, so we put same mark at the at where the pointer is. Suppose the pointer is comes here, so we put here 1 ampere because current flowing remains same. So this is called calibration. What is graduation? What is graduation? Graduation is that if you see a cylinder, measuring cylinder, so there are lines, there are lines. This is called graduation, that means marking. So what we do, we first calibrate, then graduate, then that means put markings there, that this is 1 ampere, this is 1.1 ampere. So after calibration and graduation, to read of the current value with ease. So with the help of this, we can read accurately the current with the calibration, and with graduation we can easily read the current like 1.1 ampere, 1.2 ampere and so on. We define the current sensitivity. Now what is the current sensitivity? What is the current sensitivity of the galvanometer? As the deflection per unit. So what is the correction? This current sensitivity of the galvanometer is the deflection per unit current. So deflection is phi, this current is I. So this is the current sensitivity. And if you can see here, this N, A, B and K. For a galvanometer, we in the last example we put this thing in a bracket because these things are fixed for a galvanometer. These things are fixed for a galvanometer, that's why we put this into bracket and I here. Since this is a constant, if we increase I, phi will also increase. So let us see, this phi upon I is N, A, B, K. So what we can change very easily? K we cannot change, this cannot be changed because this is the material constant. Area, if we increase area, the galvanometer will become large. The magnetic field, the more magnetic field, again the bigger the magnet. What can we do easily? We can change this number of turns. Suppose number of turns can be very easily increased, so the sensitivity of this galvanometer would be increased. So sensitivity, current sensitivity is increased by increasing the number of turns. A convenient way for manufacturer to increase the sensitivity is to increase the number of turns n, because for all other things either we need to change the material or we need bigger galvanometer. The galvanometer can also be used as voltmeter. So this is the first application where we have used galvanometer as a meter. Now we are going to use this as voltmeter. Now next application is that galvanometer can also be used as voltmeter. This is the second application. So we have used it as a first to check the current, then again in which direction current is going, then to measure current like ammeter. Now we are converting galvanometer into voltmeter. So now you can see it is a very important instrument to measure the voltage across a section of the circuit. For this it must be connected in parallel. So if you see a circuit, let me make a circuit. So if there is some resistance, okay, so if I want to measure the current in the circuit, the ammeter must be connected in series, and let me connect it to a battery. So this circuit is completed. So this is the resistance in which we want to measure the current. This is our ammeter. So ammeter is always connected. Ammeter is always connected in series, and the voltmeter is always connected in parallel. Please remember this thing, that voltmeter is always connected in parallel and ammeter is always connected in series. See here, this is positive, so it is connected to positive of voltmeter. This is negative side, so this is connected to negative of voltmeter. This is the resistance. Ammeter positive is connected to the same positive side of this, negative is connected to this. Voltmeter is always connected into parallel, ammeter is always connected into series. Please remember, this is very important. a meter is always connected in series, voltmeter is always connected in parallel. Now, so a voltmeter to measure voltage, for this it must be connected in parallel. Voltmeter must be connected in parallel with that section of the circuit where we want to measure the voltage. So around R we have to connect this in parallel. Further, it must draw a very small current. So voltmeter must draw very little current, only then this voltage will be accurate. Otherwise, voltage measurement will disturb the original setup by an amount which is very large. So overall thing is that this voltmeter in parallel must not consume any current, otherwise voltage measured by it will be inaccurate.